Good morning. What I want to do is go through this problem in this worksheet. Do me a favor, and as you start, these are some review problems. I want you to pause the video and try them on your own. So pause the video. Did you pause the video? Come on, actually pause the video. Okay. Since you paused the video, let's go ahead and crank these out, and you try them on your own. So here we go. We have the x over here. We want to get by itself, so minus 4, so we get 4x equals 8. And we get x equals 2. Boom. On this side, we have x divided by 3, and then we have this minus 13. So that divide is trapped by this minus. So we're going to get rid of that. So we're going to add 13 both sides. We get x over 3 equals 33. And then we're going to multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of it. We get x equals 99. Hopefully that worked out for you. Cool. Hey, so we actually talked about this chart in class the other day, so I'm going to skip it because we talked about it in class, in person. Okay, so when we're solving equations that are a little bit more complicated, we first try to simplify the sides if we can, and then we dig out the variable by undoing the order of operation. So when we talk about this one, we have 7x minus 3x, which is going to be 4x equals 24, and then we're going to keep going to solve it. We're going to divide by 4. We get x equals 6. That one. Over here on the right, we have 2x minus 9x, so it's negative 7x. We're going to combine those first. Remember, combine those. And then we keep going just like the ones up above. Minus 17 both sides. We get negative 21, and then we get divide by negative 7. We get x is 3. Great. Again, pause the video if you need to. I know I'm going fast. We go. Number 3. So this is tempting to go ahead and combine those, but they're not like terms, so we can't. But what we can do is distribute this to simplify it a little bit. Here, plus 12 equals 28. 5x plus 3x is 8x. Plus 12 equals 28. Minus 12 minus 12. Sorry about that being so sloppy. And we get 8x equals 16. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. And we get x equals 2. Fantastic. Number 4 here. Again, it's tempting to go ahead and combine those, but we can't because they're not like terms. So instead, we're going to distribute, and we want to use this line to the left when we use a term or a part of a term. So we're going to do negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Over here on the left, we'll drop the 4x down. Keep going. 4x minus 3x is just x. Those combine. We don't combine the 6 because it doesn't have an x with it, and it's not a like term. So we get x plus 6. We're going to subtract 6 both sides. So we get x equals 15. Okay. Here we go. Pause it if you need to. I am cruising. Number 5. So when I look at this, I think I find where the x is. It's right there. We have a times, we have this minus thing, and we have this divide thing. There's 3 operations there, so let's undo it. One that's furthest on the outside is this divide by negative 8. So we're going to multiply by negative 8 to get rid of it. So we get negative 72. We're going to copy down this minus. We're going to change it to a plus because they go together. And then, just like before, minus 30. So negative 75 equals negative 6x. So now, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. When I divide by negative 6 and negative 6, so I'm going to type it in my calculator. You should do it as well, just to make sure you get it right. And it didn't start as decimals, so I don't want you to end it as decimals. I want you to end it as an improper fraction, please. There's lots of reasons for that. I can explain that when we get in class if you want. Again, pause it, write it down, think about what I just did, and then move on. Okay, so now this one. This is a little crazy. We got this plus, we got this 4 out here, we got this times, we got this minus, we got this divide. So you got to think of what's furthest on the outside of the whole problem. So furthest on the outside is this guy. So we're going to get rid of that first. Minus 4. So then we copy down the rest of the stuff and change that. Cancels. 9 minus 4 is 5. And now we have a problem just like the last one. Multiply by 2, multiply by 2, 3x minus 1 equals 10, plus 1, 3x equals 11. divide by 3, x equals, now 11 over 3 is going to be some decimal. It's going to be 3 2/3, but we don't want to leave it like that. I want you to leave it as an improper fraction. Okay. Pause it, write it down, ruminate on what I just did, figure it out. Let's go to the next one. Okay, very last one. So this one's confusing. So when we read it, what is the value of x in the equation? It said method 1 shows a way of solving the equation. Find another way to solve the equation. Is one method better than the other? Explain your thinking. So we need to look at this and try to figure out what's going on. So how does it change from this step to this step? Well, the 3's gone. And this turns into a 24, which looks like it's times by 3. And this turns into a 93, which is times by 3. So what ends up happening is we multiply the whole side of this equation by 3. And we're multiplying this by 3. If we do that whole side of the equation, we need to do 3 times this term and 3 times that term. When we do 3 times the first term, these two 3's cancel, so we're left with just the 2 parentheses x plus 4. And the 3 times 8 is negative 24. After that, it's like a problem we've done before. Distribute by 2, 2x plus 8, combine like term. Looks like there's a step skipped here. Then I would add a 2x minus 16 equals 96, and then I would add 16 to get this divided by 2. Whereas the way that we would go about, we went about solving it before. We added 8, add 8. Ooh, that should be 40. Times 3 times 3. I would distribute that. Minus 8, 2x equals 112, divide by 2, boom, 56. Same way. There's the phrase that I'll use, is that all correct mathematical roads lead to the correct mathematical answer. And that's the case here. So which one's better? Neither. And I would say neither, except that I think, this is a personal preference, method 2 is simpler to understand. That's just me. But you could do it either way if you feel like it, whichever one you see best. That's it. All right. Crank it up. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.